Hello, hello, Sarah of SEK Handmade here, and today I'm going to share with you how to work the Tunisian colored diamond stitch. It is absolutely gorgeous. I know you're going to love it, so let's go. For this stitch, you're going to need yarn in two colors. Whatever yarn you have is perfectly fine, whatever weight you are comfortable with. And then you need a Tunisian crochet hook to match. You can see I have my interchangeable Tunisian hook without a cord on it. What you're really looking for is a nice long neck. So even if you don't have a Tunisian crochet hook and you have a simple crochet hook with a nice long neck, that can work perfectly fine as well for practicing. And then you just want your hook to be a size or two larger than what you would normally use for your yarn weight that you've chosen. So we're going to call our cream yarn here our main color, and we're going to call our blue or teal here our contrasting color. So we're going to start this stitch with our main color. This stitch is worked in multiples of 3 plus 2. So you're going to want groups of 3 in the middle, and then you're going to have your 2 edge stitches like you always do in Tunisian crochet. So since our multiple is 3, a multiple of 3 plus 2, I'm going to say let's do 3 diamond stitches in the middle. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus the 2 edge stitches that we need. So that's 11. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 11 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to skip that first stitch next to my hook and work into the back bump of all of the other stitches. If you like to work into the front of your chain, you can do that too. I will, however, place a link to my tutorial of working into the back bump in the description because I love it and I want to convert as many people to working into their chains like this as possible, and I will show you why. It gives you this lovely braid along the bottom of your work, and then your bottom work matches your top. It is just super duper gorgeous and I love it. So highly recommend. So I am at the end of my chain here, and I'm just going to count my loops. I should have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yay! Then I'm going to join my contrasting color on my left side here and work my return pass with my contrasting color. So I'm simply going to pinch it between my finger there to keep a hold onto it and complete my return pass as usual. So yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way back to the beginning of that very first loop. Then, as you start this next row, you're going to insert your hook into the first 3 stitches as if to Tunisian simple stitch. So from right to left, all the way through all 3 of those stitches. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Make sure you pull this loop up nice and high. These stitches can get kind of squashy if you're not careful about keeping this row up to height. Then I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook through all 3 stitches again and yarn over and pull up a loop. So what this is doing is it's not only creating the really pretty texture of our stitch, but it's also keeping the same number of loops. We've worked 3 loops, we have 3 loops. So we're going to do that again in our next set of stitches. Insert from right to left through the next 3 stitches, yarn over, pull up a loop, nice and high, yarn over, then insert your hook back into those same 3 stitches, yarn over, pull up a loop. You can see how it gathers those 3 stitches together. It's really, really pretty. Then I've got 3 more stitches, so I'm going to work through all 3 of those. Yarn over, pull up my loop. Then, to keep the number of stitches consistent, you're going to yarn over to create a loop. Place your hook again through the same 3 stitches. Yarn over, pull up a loop. And then all you have to do is work your edge stitch, which when you join a color looks a little funky, but imagine this is attached down there and you're going to work through both of those loops to create your final stitch. And now if you count your stitches, you should still have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stitches. Perfect. We're going to change colors again over here on the left side of our work. So I'm going to drop my teal yarn and I'm going to pick up my cream. You can see that because this stitch was worked when I wasn't holding on to the cream yarn, it's a little taller. So I just take this opportunity to get it back to about the same size as my other stitches. Just a little adjustment I make on the left side every time I change colors. So I'm going to yarn over and work my return pass just the same as usual. So yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now you'll see that my stitches are grouped in sets of 3 here. And that makes pulling through only one of them a little challenging. So I just encourage you to take it slowly. Turn your hook up so that it kind of catches on that next loop, and then just go through every single loop individually. Again, if you feel like this is a little challenging and you go through more than 1 loop, you're not alone. Totally normal that this takes some practice to start with. Again, I'm turning my loop back up so my hook grabs that next loop instead of pulling through it, and then that last one of the group of 3 is a little easier. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over through your last 2 loops. Now, what I love about this stitch is I think it alternates between a really simple row and a more unusual row. So our next forward pass with our main color here is just going to be a row of Tunisian simple stitch. So even though the stitches look a little different here, you're simply going to work each of them from right to left and pull up a loop. Now, this middle stitch especially can get kind of hidden. That's our yarn over, and it lays back behind a little bit, and that's totally normal. Just make sure you don't skip it. The first few times you go, you work through this row, you want to probably just count your stitches one more time to make sure you've gotten all of the stitches. And then again, on my left side here where I've changed colors, that V is now going to be in 2 colors, just like before. And that is the next row. And then you just repeat that pattern again and again. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my teal yarn and I'm going to do a return pass with my contrasting color. Then I'm doing my groups of 3. So insert through 3 stitches, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook again, and pull up a loop. Work your edge stitch with your contrasting color this time, and then change colors. Now, if you find, I always bring my new color of yarn around to the front to change color, and that causes it to twist over itself, if you find that you're getting all twisty and it's really bothering you, what I do is when I'm at this end of my return pass, I simply just pick it up and let it spin. And then that untwists your yarn there. So my next step is to work a return pass through with my main color. And also, if you find it easier to work through each loop individually, so if you pull through one loop and then 2 loops, that's totally fine, whatever gets the job done. And then again, Tunisian simple stitch in every single stitch. And there you go. What a fun texture and color. Such a fun and easy way to add great texture and a little bit of color work to your Tunisian project. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I would love it if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications. There are links in the description below to other tutorials. It is always my goal to help you grow confidently in your craft, and I hope every single one of my videos does that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and happy crafting!